you know where I think a lot of these people get their crazy ideas if they're going to obtain crazy ideas? This is no surprise. Colleges. And lo and behold, the college job market is not doing great for recent college grads for a bunch of different reasons, which I'd love your guys' perspectives on. Chris, the unemployment rate for college grads, according to the New York Post, was 2.7 for 22 to 27 years old. It's now jumped to 5.8%, according to the New York Federal Reserve. Why is that? Why is it that college grads are having a difficult time finding jobs in the workforce? And I feel like I can anticipate some snark here.
Well, I would want to check and see what percentage of those degrees are gender ideology studies, first and foremost, and then we could probably find the reality of the answer. I think that a lot of these college kids are coming out with entitlement. They think that they deserve a high-paying job. They're not going to get it. They don't want to start from the bottom up. They don't want to put their foot in the door and really grind it out. And then on the flip side, you're seeing high schoolers who are being able to get out of high school with $70,000 a year jobs welding.
Yeah.
And I think that that really comes down to the issue. You have a lot of individuals who are getting garbage degrees and a lot of debt that they're saddled with, and they won't settle for a low paying job because they're thinking to themselves, I'm college educated. I should be getting more than this. When the reality is, yeah, you got a piece of paper, but you haven't earned or proven anything. And that's a harsh reality for a lot of these kids to face. And I do say kids, I think, these are the younger segments of the population. They got to figure it out. But you can figure it out if you want to put the work in, but a lot of them don't want to do that.
Totally. Yeah. Haley, it wasn't all that long ago I was in college. I think like 10 years ago. But at the time, the joke was, for philosophy majors, you won't ask, well, would you like fries with that? It's why would you like fries with that? And nowadays, like philosophy majors, at least is somewhat respectable, even though we joke about it. Today, you see these clips on social media of I am a intersectionality, gender, women's studies, underwater basket weaving. How did it change so quickly, it feels like, to kids getting these unbelievably useless degrees?
Color me shocked that all of these liberal art, women in queer studies in Palestine degrees are not absolutely crunching up the job market. I am shocked, actually. But at the end of the day, as a recent college grad, everyone, I went back after being in the workforce for about a decade. I went back and got my degree, which there was a lot of commentary about, which I think is very unique. I went to community college, don't have any debt, and I love that. I think that's a path that we don't quite talk about enough, and going to the trades too. Even Mike Rowe just did a great episode on his podcast about the amount of people that are going right into trade schools and getting jobs, six-figure jobs right out of school. And that really is a path that I think we can highlight a lot more. Also, I think right back to the entitlement, I think kids just think they deserve everything. I recently saw a TikTok where this woman was sitting in her car just sobbing. First of all, crying on the internet is something we should absolutely talk about later on in this episode, but she's just sobbing that she got her marketing degree and does not have like a $600,000 job. And it's one of those things where you got to work your way up the ladder, do the grit, do the grind, do the time. And at the end of the day, you're going to see that manifest and pay off.
Totally. Speaking of saving the time, if you're actually interested in getting a Palestinian queer studies degree, let me save you the time. You're gonna go there and get a flying lesson off the nearest roof. Don't waste your time doing that.